prisoner. I'm a free man.
Yep.
Free to make our own decisions. We don't need Lindsay guiding our way.
Hey, just a technical question, and it's not something we have to change tonight, but are you the computer that you're connecting to the software with?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same computer that you're playing the YouTubes with?
No.
Okay. Is that computer robust enough to do that, do you think, or no?
Oh, yeah. It's got 16 gig, and
Okay.
it's a good. I just use it specifically for connecting to you and the chat room. That's it.
And if you played, and I know this is boring to the fans, and I don't care. If you played a YouTube video on that computer, you could still run it out through the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We won't mess with it tonight. We got a little testing to do. I definitely want to get you using the share screen when you're doing. Kendall made a good point in the comments that we should
show Kendall making more work for me. Thanks.
Well, I could play the videos on this side if you want to make
a joke.
But she makes a good point. Is like when we were playing that video, we should have had the video up.
Okay.
So I need to.
Again, it's a learning curve.
Exactly. This is the fourth segment I've ever used the software ever. So we're learning on the fly here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. But so far so good. All right, what's up? What are we talking about? I don't want to just talk technical bullshit all night.
I'm just kind of looking things here. Well, we're dealing with this virus. Everybody's well aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are just getting out and out violent about this whole wearing a mask bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what do you know more than me aside from what you watch on lamestream media?
Right.
I mean, do you have more information than I do?
Apparently.
So that's what it really boils down to. It's just like, what makes you such a fucking expert on wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, etc. Right. And who are you to basically dictate to me or anyone else out in public that they should be doing certain things?
Yeah.
So anyway, a Florida dad is fighting for his life after his son ignored his parents' advice and went out with friends without a mask.
Mm-hmm.
And he infected his whole family.
Well, how about that?
He infected the whole goddamn family.
Mm-hmm.
The whole family's dying now.
Yep. Okay.
John Place of let's see, what is it? Plantation, Florida. Isn't that a racist name? Plantation, Florida.
It'll be changed. It'll soon be Martin Luther King Way.
Right, of course. Is fighting for his life in the ICU after contracting the coronavirus from his son. The 42-year-old father became ill after his son ignored his parents' advice and went out with friends and later tested positive. See here. Place's wife, Michelle, said she begged her stepson, who was not named, to be cautious for his father, who was overweight and diabetic. Okay, well, all right, I get that. This guy had some morbidities.
Yeah.
Pre-existing issues.
Yeah, well, and again, it still comes down to the same behavior that we always talk about. Police your fucking kid. If this is an issue to you, then police your kid. Don't let him come back in the house.
Right. The young man later went out against his wishes and met up with his friends one night in June and caught the virus.
Okay.
John Place from Plantation is currently in intensive care at the Westside Regional Medical Center, where he is put on a ventilator for more than 2 weeks. The 42-year-old and his family all tested positive for the COVID last month after his 21-year-old son went out with friends one night and knowingly brought the now he knowingly brought the respiratory virus back to their home. He knowingly did this.
He went out there and said, come on, let me get some COVID.
Now, how did he know this? How did he knowingly bring the virus back to the house?
He said, let me get some COVID. Yeah.
How did he know he was infected?
No, dude, of course he did. Agenda, Neeley, agenda.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Place, however, was the only one who required hospitalization after 4 days of fever and nonstop coughing. He has now been in the hospital for nearly 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
His wife, Michelle, said she had repeatedly pleaded with her stepson, who was not named, to avoid going out with friends and to always wear a mask.
There you go.
Yeah. 21. What is he doing still living at home?
And what's the parents doing if they're so worried about, why can't, whatever, as far as if he's living at home, not, should he go get a place, a job? Sure. Of course he should. But let's be honest here. If he's 21 years old and he's under their roof, if he's 51 years old and he's under their roof, and they're like, hey, if they're worried about the COVID, you say to the kid, hey, if you go out there, you're not coming back in the fucking house for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, your dad has got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And he's a high risk individual.
Yeah. So we're not going to let you in the house if you go out and fucking deal with it. So, again, I blame the parents on this. If this dude dies, it's his own fucking fault.
Mm-hmm. But 21 years old, come on now.
Yeah.
We're telling our adult son what to do.
Yeah. And he didn't listen. But that again falls on the fucking owners of the house, the mortgage payers.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking tenant. You tell your tenant how to live.
He always assured me, don't worry, Mom, I'm doing everything right. Relax, chill. You know how these kids are. He's not a kid.
No, he's not a kid.
He's 21 years old.
Yeah.
See, therein lies the problem right there. Well, you know how these kids are. He's not 12.
No, not at all.
Dummy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how these kids are, so I trusted him, she said.
Well, that's your own fault.
She said she begged him to think about his dad, who is at a high risk of severe COVID illness because of his overweight and diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You as a good wife, you need to put him on a good diet and get his ass off the couch.
Yeah. Or just let him be a fat slug and die. He's going to die early anyway. Look, as a fellow fat guy, I'm going to say it. I'm going to die early anyway. That's part of the joy of being fat, is knowing that you don't get to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
This guy and me both have the same fucking solution. Eat a fucking salad. And guess what? Neither one of us are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming the fucking COVID. You know what? If this guy had been eating salad for the last 20 years, he wouldn't have he would not be dying from the COVID. He'd have a fucking runny nose. So shut up.
Right.
And again, he let the kid back in the house.
Yeah.
It's his own fault. Drop dead.
But despite her pleas, he went out against her. He's a grown man. He's an adult.
And you could lock the door against his wishes, you fucking bitch.
I hate stories like this. It's like, he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, he went out against my wish. He's not your kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went out against her wishes one night in June when he gathered with friends and removed his mask while eating and drinking. Well, was he supposed to eat through the mask?
I guess not. Or I guess so.
Jeez. Days later, he felt cold and symptoms, and a friend at the get-together told him that she had tested positive for the coronavirus. Well, she was kind of irresponsible too.
Of course, yeah.
By then, it had already taken hold in the young man's household. You let your guard down just one time. That's all it takes. His stepmother added, you come home and you infected the entire house.
Yeah. Well, where is the other story on this that has, the other 10 million fat guys that have had their friends and family go out and come back and didn't contract coronavirus?
Correct.
Again, ABC News, or at least the one I posted was ABC, but I'm sure this is a news story around the world.
Yeah.
Meets the agenda.
Of course, see,
Yeah, see? Yeah.
The illness spread among the members of the family highlights the outcome dreaded by authorities.
Mhm.
Dreaded by authorities.
Only reason they're dreading is because they're going to have to drag his fat fucking carcass out.
Right.
It's going to take 4 of them instead of the normal 2.
Who feared the recent surge of cases hitting younger Floridians would spread to older and more vulnerable people. They don't necessarily listen. It could be peer pressure. Peer pressure? Maybe they think none of us are sick. We're all fine. They don't understand. Many of us are asymptomatic and are positive carriers of the virus.
Right.
The young man who did not want to talk to the media had told his father and stepmother that he initially thought he had a common cold and took over the counter medication. Yeah, well, why wouldn't he think that? Because it's the same symptoms.
Yeah. He should be scared.
When he heard about his friends testing positive for the coronavirus, he still didn't think he had it.
No.
But members of the family started to fall ill one by one, just like dominoes.
Mm-hmm.
They just started falling like dominoes.
That's right.
Starting with his 14-year-old brother, who is also overweight. What's going on in that household?
Certainly not greens.
Yeah, looks like that stepmom, she's not doing a very good job.
Yeah, that young-looking Nancy Pelosi is just fucking fattening these.
Funny you should say that, because I was thinking the exact same thing. I was thinking that Artie Lang married Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, exactly. What it looks like.
He's like a cross between Artie Lang and Louis Anderson.
Yeah. Look, let's just get real here. Mom's a fucking lousy mom.
Yeah.
She just fucking probably feeds everybody burgers and mac and cheese every fucking night. They love it. And I get that. I'm a fat fuck too, and I love mac and cheese and burgers. So I certainly understand this. And guess what? You took a risk letting your fucking dummy kid go out and come back with his friends. You let him back in the house. Now you're sick. If you die, you die. You did it yourself.
And not only that, he's 21.
Yeah.
He's not your kid. You know how these kids are.
If you're that worried about your kid fucking bringing the virus back into your house, don't let him into your house. He's 21. Mix in an apartment with your fucking McDonald's diet, fatso. Jesus.
The members of the family started to fall ill one by one, starting with the 14-year-old brother, who is also overweight and was wheezing, coughing, and lethargic. Well, he was probably lethargic to begin with.
Yeah.
It's your fat 14-year-old ass off the couch.
I was going to say that lethargism comes from fucking Game of Thrones watching and Call of Duty playing.
The 6-year-old sister had only a runny nose. The stepmother was achy with a fever and chills.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the cold or the flu.
Yeah.
She met with her children. She and her children have since started to recover from the virus, but her husband remains in serious condition in the ICU, with place unable to work at his photo booth business.
Photo booth
business.
How does he get to work? Time machine? Photo booth? What is he, one of these guys that fucking goes to a wedding and it says, okay, now you hold up the fake mustache and you hold up the 20/20 glasses and we'll take your picture? Is that his job?
I don't know. What is a photo booth business?
I'm assuming that you know, when's the last time you went to a wedding?
It's been a while, but
that's like a wedding thing now, or a wedding reception thing now. I think we're talking about, you know, you have a photographer and he has a bunch of props on a table.
Really?
And you have one holds up a sign that says I'm with her and the other has one that says I'm with him, and they take a photo. It's dumb as fuck, but
dude, that's fucking gay.
It's dumb as fuck, but yeah. I've seen it at the last few. I think John had it at his dumb funeral.
His dumb funeral.
His dumb funeral.
What?
Oh, did I expose something I wasn't supposed to say to her?
Jeez. What is wrong with people?
Oh.
Who finds actual joy in this kind of stuff? Yeah, I'm
Oh.
going to go to the wedding and we're going to, hey, look, photo Matt.
There's photo, Matt. There's the photo booth.
You know what that always reminds me of? Fast Out at Ridgemont High. You fell in love with the girl at the photomat booth. You went in there and bought $60 worth of fucking film, and you don't even own a camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm being scolded. John says we did not have a photo booth.
What is it? What is the photo booth? What is that?
I just told you it's like a corner of the. They have like a table like off on the side, and there's a photographer.
Okay, and they take goofy pictures.
They you know how like when they do all those fucking faggot dances to like the chicken dance and all that other
the electric slide and all that shit.
And then there's always somebody with the blow up guitar and the the top.
You're not even talking my language here. I don't attend those kind of shit.
It's a bunch of dumb props, and so somebody will grab the blow up guitar and somebody else will grab the fucking top hat and the cane, and then the guy will take a picture of them fucking posing going, ta-da!
Really?
It's the fucking dumbest thing.
I got to be honest with you. I have never witnessed that nor participated in anything like that.
It's really fucking dumb.
Oh, see.
I've seen it at a few, now I don't want to say, because I thought one was John's, but I don't want to say who the other ones that I think was.
I've gotten invited to weddings and things over the years, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll pass.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you there, but let me see
if wow. And this is what people do for entertainment?
I guess so.
This is funny or this is entertaining, and it's like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, well, and it's really lame. Let me find some wedding photo booth silly pictures. See if I can't find you a good one here. Oh, here's a perfect one.
All right.
Let me get this picture blown up here. Oh, what happened? There it is.
I'm just fascinated how people live. I just don't participate in that kind of garbage.
It's retarded, but all right, what is the thing here? Here, I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Look, this is what people are doing.
All right,
wedding photo kit for.
I want to find out how other people live.
There's a wedding photo from a wedding photo booth.
All right, well, you won't ever see me in a photo like that.
Yeah, you won't hold those glasses up like that, or what does his sign say? Wedding crasher. And both of their glasses, one says Mrs. and one says Mr. Ugh. So fucking lame.
Oh. Hey, we're having fun. Look at us. We're like having a great time.
Hey, who's next over here?
Yeah. Get in on the action.
Who's going to put the peacock feathers on and take a photo?
Jesus Christ. This is what people do.
This is what they do at weddings.
All right, I'm going to take your word for it because honestly, I have not experienced this.
And this is what Tony Samoron here was doing when he got the COVID.
Holy shit. I'm so out of touch with reality or out of step with society. I just don't get involved with that shit.
You say that, but then when you actually see what's going on, do you even want to be part of that?
No, absolutely not.
Fuck that. Why would anybody want to participate in that shit?
Please.
I know, dude, when I was at, and I'm not going to say this wedding, but I know this wedding had one. And it's one of my really good friends. But when I was at it and they had their photo booth thing going, I did everything in my power to avoid the groom because he was like walking around trying to get people to go over to the photo booth to take photos with the new wife and with him and with friends. Let's gather some friends around to the photo booth. No, So every time I saw the groom coming to me while the photo booth guy was working, I was like, oh, I got to go get a drink.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bar.
Yeah, I got to go take a piss. I got to go do something else.
Right.
I cannot be taken. There cannot be a photo of me anywhere at this dumb photo booth.
I was never there.
Exactly. Someone else did that, not me.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. If I attend an event that I'm not, fully in supportive of,
Yeah.
I absolutely make sure that there is no kind of evidence at all that I was at the part of this.
Yep, exactly.
Lynn's videos?
Lindsay, yeah.
What is that? Oh, is that the chick that the queer kid stuff?
Yeah, they're saying that people that take the photo booth pictures are the people that'll be in Lindsay's videos.
Oh, okay. All right, I get you.
They'll be showing their kids those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely make sure that I wasn't there. If I find myself in an embarrassing situation, it's like, I'm gonna use an old Chris Aikenism. I gotta distance myself from this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow. All right. So anyway, getting back to the story, with a place unable to work at his photo booth business, his wife's friends have launched a Go Fuck Yourself campaign.
Nice.
To raise funds for the family as they brace to handle hefty, interesting terms, hefty medical bills.
Hefty.
Hefty.
Are they charging by the pound over there?
Good line. I love it. She said that she has been called an awful mother and an evil witch for placing the blame on her stepson, who's an adult, by the way, a 21-year-old adult. Let me remind you all of that.
Sure.
But she said she thought it was important to share the family's story amid a surge of infections first detected among young people.
Look, I actually have an actual wedding photo from them.
Who? Really? Yuck.
Thank you, Chat and Kill. I stole your photo.
South Florida mayors gathered earlier this week with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and has told him that gatherings of young people were a key factor in the rise in the cases that emerged in June in their region.
Right.
Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez said young people were celebrating the end of school or college, in some cases joining street protests and otherwise just getting together at house parties, underground venues, and restaurants that converted themselves into bars late at night with violation of the rules.
Oh, my God. Not the rules.
Not the rules.
No.
With so many close-knit, multi-generational families in the community, spread to older members of families seem inevitable. Since the young kids started infecting each other, now we see the results as more older folks are now going to the hospital. Exactly what we feared. That's the key word right there.
Fear?
Yep. They're going to take it to their parents, and then they were going to take it to their grandparents.
Yeah.
Which goes back to a good point that Mark Levin made.
Okay.
Why are these colleges shutting down and sending the kids back home to their parents?
Yeah. Don't know.
It's like the colleges should have stayed open. The younger people should have stayed at school instead of going home to their elderly parents or grandparents and spreading this virus.
Yeah. Well, there's no common sense in very much of this whole fucking pandemic, is there?
Not at all. On Wednesday, Florida passed the 300,000 mark of confirmed corona cases. And here's the other thing. So what?
Yeah.
So you had 300,000 corona cases. How many people died up from that? How many people suffered, irreparable injury from that? If,
Mm-hmm.
if 300,000 people, contracted the virus, so what? Then
Yeah.
what happened? Well, then they got better and they went about their business.
Those don't count.
Okay, so then why was that a problem? Well, because they got it.
Mhm.
Okay, well, it's a virus.
Mm.
How many people got colds this year? How many people got flus this year?
Yeah.
Did you count those too?
Well, hate to be conspiracy guy, but the left want these old people that vote conservative to die before
Apparently so.
November. They're hoping for some deaths before November.
On Wednesday, Florida passed the 300,000 mark of confirmed corona cases and has been averaging about 96 deaths per day. From what?
From those motorcycle corona cases.
Well, what were the 96 deaths per day attributed to?
Yeah. Well,
Specifically coronavirus or heart attack or cancer or disease, or what was it?
see, for me, I could care less. I'm just more in the realm of, unless I see bodies dying in the street, I don't care.
Well, that's kind of where I'm trying to go with this. It's just like, is this reporting saying that 96 deaths per day were specifically coronavirus involved, or there's just 96 deaths per day, but they may or may not have had a coronavirus symptom?
Yeah.
The reporting is so skewed right now
Mm-hmm.
that at this point those numbers mean absolutely nothing.
None of it means anything anymore.
No, of course not.
Never did. In my world, it never meant anything because they've never even had a consensus on what you're supposed to do.
Right.
There's never been. It was wear masks, don't wear masks, stay home, don't stay at home. All this nonsense. It just continues on and on and on, and it never. It doesn't seem like we know anything. It doesn't seem like we have any more concrete evidence now than we did when this bullshit started.
No, it changes from day to day.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying it's fake. It's, I certainly believe that people are dying from the fucking coronavirus, or they're getting sick, and some are dying. And, to be fair, if it is something that makes dying faster, if you have another health condition with it, then okay. I'm actually okay with counting that. Because even with us knowing that these numbers are all skewed and fucked and wrong and everything else, the number is still tiny. So I don't care if the real number is 0.2% instead of 0.5%. It's still not inconsequential percent.
Yeah.
The only ones that it matters to is the people that actually do die. And yeah, that sucks ass for them, but more than likely, like fucking Al Capone here, at the photo booth, he was gonna die early anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if your good friend Chris Aiken gets the coronavirus, guess what? That fat fuck was gonna die anyway. That's just the game. That's how it works. Just accept it. Live your life for today. Stop trying to be a fucking social justice asshole with your fucking mask worries.
Right. Jeez. Well, I was listening to a medical expert aside from Dr. Fauci today.
Okay.
And he was basically saying, wearing a mask at this point in this coronavirus is like wearing a condom while you're attending the baby shower. He said it's too little too late.
Yeah.
At this point, there's really no point in any of this. This is all just politicized at this point.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's too late. We're 5 months deep.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot you can do now.
Right. And again, I say the same thing. We know we don't know. That guy doesn't know any more than Fauci, and Fauci doesn't know any more than you. Just because he looks at fucking some bullshit in a test tube, he doesn't know anything either.
Right.
He's the same guy that has flip-flopped on everything. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask, touch
Wear
things.
gloves, don't wear gloves.
Yeah.
It exists on the surface for 3 days. It doesn't exist on the surface.
It'll spread 27 feet, no 5 feet, no 6 feet, no 15 feet. You know, A, that is all nonsense. B, the measures that these governments are taking is even more nonsense. Listen to this fucking nonsense. So up in PA, we have a restaurant right near Pinball, PA, which is open, by the way. No restrictions for anybody that lives there. Please come to Pinball, PA. But the restaurant, it's mandatory, quote unquote, mandatory that you wear a mask when you walk into the restaurant. It's a restaurant with a bar in it. Okay.
All right.
You cannot sit at the bar, but you can pull up a small standing table next to the bar and sit there.
Okay.
And that somehow is safer.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's beyond fucking stupid. I gotta find that photo. You'll laugh when you see this photo.
So they can pull up a bar top table.
Yeah.
Close to the bar, but you can't sit at the bar.
Right. Makes sense, right?
Yeah, makes sense to me.
It's
I know I would feel much safer if I went there.
Of course you would. And do you feel safer wearing the mask to walk in 3 feet and then taking it off? Is that somehow safer?
Well, I felt much safer when I was in the airport terminal on Thursday than wearing the mask in the terminal than I did not wearing a mask while I was at the bar having some cocktails waiting for my plane to board.
Right.
I was very safe.
Sure you were.
I felt safe. I felt secure. And I thought, these screwdrivers are going down so smooth. I'm not worried about the coronavirus at the moment.
Right. I'll bet you did. Yeah, it's everything about, and again, I want to stress this again because I know, I'm like the hardcore guy of not wearing the mask, and I'm never going to wear one. I don't give a fuck what the
traveling over the weekend. I would have never worn a mask either.
I won't travel. I would rather not travel than put on a mask. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, I get it. And I would have not done that either, but obviously I had to board a plane and I really didn't have a choice.
Yeah. Other than to not go.
Yeah, not go. Yeah. I could have said, yeah, fuck it. I'm not going.
That would have been my answer. I'm not even kidding. I would have, friend or no friend, I'd have told Don, not coming. I'm not wearing a fucking mask on a plane. Sorry.
Yeah. But I did. I made that choice. I said, okay, I got to fly on a plane. That's what they require. So be it.
Yeah. Here you go. Look at this fucking knothead.
So I kind of get what they're trying to do there. Are they social distancing from the bartender? Is that the deal?
Yeah. Well, no, the deal is dickhead Tom Wolf, the governor, has said that you can't sit at a bar and get alcohol, but you can eat and have alcohol served to you.
Yeah. But my point is now, like over here at the local CVS,
mm-hmm.
You can't walk directly up to the checkout counter.
Yeah.
They have a table, like a folding table.
Okay.
Between the counter and as far as you can walk up, which basically, creates enough distance away from the checkout counter.
Right.
To be quote unquote social distancing, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of guessing that this guy is sitting at a table getting served from the bar, but he's like not right up to the bar.
Yeah.
And so basically he's social distancing from the bartender.
Yeah. And he'll probably order an order of fries or something so that he's within the realm of having dinner, being served food, which you're allowed to be into the restaurant to take a food order.
Yeah.
But this is the dumbest shit. And even worse, you see where he's sitting, right?
Yeah.
You see in the background there where you can see the window. And it says what it says on it, the
Mhm.
business. That's the door. So you have to wear a mask from there
To the
to
bar.
where he's sitting. And then he can take off the mask. And then when he gets up to leave, he'll pay his bill. He has to put his mask on to walk over to that door. And then he can take the mask off when
So he's got to walk, what, 25 feet?
way less than that. It's maybe 10 feet. Maybe. It's not far. It's the dumbest shit ever. It's all fucking stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
But people are doing it.
I guess. All right. The stepmother and her family have been isolating at home, and Place was on a ventilator for more than 2 weeks. She says her stepson has been helping to take care of the younger children and researching the disease while she juggles work in between calls to the hospital, nurses, and the doctor. So her stepson, the 21-year-old, he's been researching the disease.
It's good.
How's that helpful?
Well, he's really committed to it. That's for sure.
So again, why is that even a sentence in this article?
Because it shows that anybody can get it, Neely, even those that are paying attention.
Well, my point is I'm going to read this again. Her stepson has been helping taking care of the younger children. Okay, I get that.
Uh-huh.
And researching the disease.
Oh, well, he's trying to be helpful as a good stepson would.
He's Dr. Fauci Jr.
Yeah. And Felchi is a good word instead of Fauci. He's Felchi.
Yeah. She said the younger generation won't know until it hits home. The younger generation.
Right.
This has definitely brought us together, she added. We could have eventually gotten the disease somewhere else, but right. It is unfortunate that he did bring it home.
And that's kind of what we were saying. Yeah, you're damn right. It is unfortunate, but it happened. So deal with it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. Just deal with it.
And here's the way my fucked up mind works.
Yeah.
All I'm thinking here is, she's not a totally unattractive stepmom. But if the old man passes, she's got and I'm going with the Step Brothers movie.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the young buck at home.
Yeah, true.
I'm kind of sad that your father passed, but you're close enough to your dad. You are of his own genes. I could use a little bit of that that loving.
Let's see if you've got the fat guy's dick too.
Yeah.
Well, let's check it out.
Yeah. So you never know.
Never know.
Yeah. Just move on to the young fella.
Yeah.
Wow. Just stupid.
It is terrible.
Yeah. It's like, well, the guy was, the guy was overweight. He had diabetic. He was sick.
Yeah.
But this whole thing of these kids.
Well,
he's not a kid, dude.
He's a young 21.
Yeah. I begged him not to go out.
Yeah. You could have locked the fucking door. He's an adult.
It's just dumb.
It is dumb.
Dumb.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see. I got to grab another one here that'll just kind of probably enrage you a little bit. With all this nonsense going on, with all this social bullshit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver Stone, movie maker.
Yeah.
He slams politically correct Hollywood and says you need a sensitivity counselor or a COVID advisor to make a movie nowadays.
Ugh. Who in Hollywood is he slamming again? Because they all seem to have that faggotry.
Well, he's basically saying all of Hollywood.
But don't they have that anyway?
Well, it's even getting worse.
Oh. I'm going to say they're all the sensitive types that all go for this nonsense anyway, aren't they?
Yeah. But as a movie director who wants to, direct movies and, have all kinds of, subject material.
Right.
They're listening more to Lindsay than they're listening to a director.
I believe that.
We got to have, this LGBTQ XYZ culture represented in our movie, because you never know what little kids might be watching.
That's right.
Unsupervised by their parents. But anyway, movie director Oliver Stone has criticized modern Hollywood for being politically correct, and he feels the industry has gone mad.
Oh, does he?
Stone, who was 73, won the Academy Awards for his 1986 movie Platoon. 1986?
Yeah.
This is his claim to fame from 1986.
Well, he did do JFK too. That was what, 91.
Yeah, I know, but we're talking 25 years ago.
Yeah. 35 years ago.
Yeah, 35 years ago.
Yeah.
So they're touting his accomplishment from 35 years ago.
Right.
He feels worn out after making 20 motion pictures with major studios. He's made 20 motion pictures in 35 years.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And the current industry standards and the coronavirus pandemic have put him off projects that are not on his terms.
Yeah, pal.
The problem is, in Hollywood, it's just so expensive. The marketing, everything has become too fragile, too sensitive, Stone said in an interview. Hollywood now, you can't make a film without a COVID advisor. You can't make a film without a sensitivity counselor. It's fucking ridiculous.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Everybody. The Academy changes its mind every 5, 10, 2 months about what it's trying to keep up with. It's politically correct, and it's fucking awful. It's not a world I'm anxious to run out into. I've never seen it quite mad like this. It's like an Alice in Wonderland tea party.
Well, he's right. Not arguing this. I'm with him on this.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Stone also pointed out to increased costs that are expected to come with the production due to the corona pandemic. As he clarified the complications he was referring to, I just read something about how films are going to be very expensive to make now because you need to take all these precautions, and a 50-day shoot becomes a 60-day shoot, and social distancing of the actors, he explained. That's what I'm talking about. In recent years, Stone has released 2016's Snowden, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and 2012's Savages, starring Blake Lively. In his memoir, Chasing the Light, out June 21st, he details his life from the Vietnam War zone to the Oscar stage. Stone also's 1991 movie JFK starred Kevin Costner, said in a new interview that he's not afraid to make films that aren't necessarily going to be popular. Well, what do you got to lose, dude? You're already past your prime.
He's made it, and he's made his money.
Yeah, why do you care?
Yeah. And I will say, to be fair to Oliver Stone, who I think is a fucking douche nozzle usually, Snowden was pretty goddamn good. That was a good movie. That was that. You didn't see that one?
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. That includes the upcoming working title JFK Destiny's Betrayed, which he says is he's making because there's quite a bit of new material revealed that people have basically ignored in the last 3 decades since his film, where he was accused of fear mongering. I'm not scared of that, Stone continued, about a possible repeat of accusations. I'm past that age. I don't need to make a Hollywood movie. I don't need to get the approval of the bosses. Stone's documentary will explore how there's no chain of custody to the single bullet fired by Lee Harvey Oswald that caused multiple wounds to Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally, who was riding in the same car. It also delves into how the autopsy from Bethesda, Maryland was completely fraudulent. And there's Vietnam. No historian can now honestly say that the Vietnam War was Kennedy's child. That's crucial, Stone continued. The last thing is that the CIA connection to Oswald, we have a stronger case that not only for post-Russia, but also pre-Russia. In other words, he was working with the CIA before he went, and then when he came back. Those are the main points.
Okay.
Those who are interested will find it's pretty clear that JFK was murdered by forces that were powerful in our government. Well, I think everybody kind of understands that.
Mm-hmm.
Stone added that while he would have no problem doing another Hollywood film, he doesn't feel it right now. Frankly, I did 20 and I got worn out, he admitted.
So this JFK thing is going to be what, a TV thing?
It didn't really say.
I was going to say, I'll watch that in a minute. I've watched JFK a fucking million times. I love that movie.
Sure. He said the JFK film points the finger at a couple of individuals and whether or not the mainstream accepts it or not. It will be out, even if it's on YouTube, Stone added, or in Transylvania.
All right. Well, I'm not going to Transylvania to see your movie, dude, but I will watch it on YouTube.
Sure.
In fact, put it on BitChute where I'll actually be.
Right.
That'd be nice.
So even the lefties of the left are like, you know what? I'm getting tired of this bullshit.
Yeah, the left are starting to eat their own.
Yeah, they're just like, yeah, I'm tired of doing the dick dance here.
Yeah. Well, it's always easy to pick at people until it comes home to you.
Yeah. Well, look at J.K. Rowling. She's really taking a lot of fire now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's one of the biggest lefties out there, and left are coming at her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't represent the Alphabet City group.
Yeah, well.
Because she's like the whole, I'm a feminist, I'm a woman, hear me roar shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, there's more than just women, you know. There's neutral gender people too. Yeah,
some of us don't identify. We identify as X.
Yeah. And you're not talking about them.
Yeah. How come you said Hermione's a girl?
Yeah. So she's even catching a lot of fire these days.
Good. Fuck her. Fucking book bitch.
Book bitch.
I don't like her.
No, I don't either. But again, there's another lefty who's really taking it. They're coming after her too.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I did like the Harry Potter stuff.
Did you?
Yeah. And you know what? As kids' movies went, that shit was pretty dark. It definitely was. I mean, it's kind of hokey, but when my choices were the fucking Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, or, watching that little Hermione develop into something hot, I was all about that.
Develop into something hot.
Yeah, she did. She started out as a cute kid, and by the end, when she was like 18 or so, by now anyway, she's hot now.
All right. I'm going to have to take your word for it. I was not a fan of any of that stuff that was beyond my, interest.
Nope. She's hot now. And thankfully she's one of those that got her phone hacked. So there's some good nudity of her. Fappening photos.
Oh, that is the important part, isn't it?
That's all that really matters in Chris's world is
right.
Are there fappening photos?
Yeah, I don't care what happened to her or reputation or the fact that her privacy was hacked. As long as I got to see it, God damn it.
Damn right.
That's all I care about.
Now you're making sense, Neeley.
I know nothing about any of this shit. I am not somebody who sits there and scans the internet looking for that shit.
And I, on the other hand, every time I see anybody on TV that I think is hot, I go right to my iPad and I type in their name and the word fappening behind it and see what I can find. I am a sick, perverted fuck, and I know.
And what does fappening stand for? What does that mean?
I think, I don't know what, I think it's a combination of the word happening and like fapping or fap is like jerking your dick.
Is that what that means?
I think.
All right.
I'm not sure on that one, but I think that means jerking off. So the fappening was, this happening that allowed people to jerk their dick to stuff they weren't supposed to see.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it.
All right. I'm going to just take your word for it. I think I'm going to refer to Lindsay since she's an expert on,
yeah,
on all things that are sexual. apparently so.
Well, there's no fappening happening with Lindsay.
No.
Nobody's searching for that.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you. Jesus, Phil. Phil Oozes a sick fuck.
What is he saying? All right.
Rue McClanahan.
Did you look that up, Chris?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
No.
Even for the story?
Not even for the story. I'm going to be honest. I don't want any fappening of any of the Golden Girls.
All right.
I don't. Even Betty White. I have seen a nude photo of Betty White in her like 20s or whatever. And she was kind of a hot piece of ass, but
yeah, well, when was she in her 20s? In like 1950?
I don't know. I think it was taken on the Titanic.
Well, she's 90 now, right? 90 or 95 or something like that.
So it would have been like in the.
So you minus 70 years since. So 70 years since now. So we're in
50s.
20. So yeah, 1950.
50.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. When she took that photo, there was a big explosion of the fucking flash.
Right.
It was packed with flash powder.
Exactly.
Holy smokes.
Wow.
She's old as fuck. Is she ever going to die?
Well, hey, you gotta hand it to her. She's still working at her age.
Yeah. And she was still pretty good on that Hot in Cleveland show.
Yeah, I never watched that. I know of it. I know what it is, but I never saw it.
I will say, not a terrible show.
Yeah.
I like that show. It was corny a little bit.
That was with Valerie Bertinelli too, right?
Yeah, but she was Fat Valerie at the and
then, of course, Chris is going through his mind. No wonder Eddie Van Halen divorced you.
Exactly. No, she I don't know. That's one of the rare shows I think I've ever watched with a predominantly female cast that I really didn't watch because I wanted to bang any of them.
Wow.
I really just kind of.
There's breaking news. Chris watched Hot in Cleveland, not because the chicks were hot.
Let me put that right in there.
Breaking news.
Let me edit that up.
Chris actually watched Hot in Cleveland and not because the chicks were hot.
Hot in Cleveland. And not because the chicks were hot. Save scroll.
There you go.
Breaking news. Yeah, no, it was just kind of a funny show.
I'm gonna take your word for it again.
And we talked about fucking a lot. That was pretty good. You know, the 3 of the 4 were straight whores on the show. That was pretty good. And it was
wasn't Rue McClanahan in the Golden Girls? Wasn't she like the whore of the group?
Yeah, but she was hideous.
Yeah, I know, but you got to look her up on Fappening. I mean, you got to be equal across the scale there, Chris.
All right, let me go right to here. I'm gonna broadcast it on the screen right now. Screen share, Chrome tab. I'll go to this Oliver Stone one here, and I'll do it right now. Let's see, Rue
McClanahan, Fappening.
McClanahan, Fappening. What do we get here? Oh, Jesus. All right, let's see. These aren't Rue McClanahan, are they?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Is this Rue McClanahan?
Who knows?
That is Rue McClanahan.
Is that her?
Yeah, I mean, she's dressed, but.
Yeah, she's like a burlesque person.
Yeah. And oh, yeah, she's probably in her 20s there, you think? 20, 25?
I would think so.
She still looks terrible. Jesus, look at that fucking Ronald McDonald face. She looks like Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, that's all I can stand of.
All right. Well, at least I could say that you at least gave it a try.
I took a shot at it.
Yeah.
I looked.
So funny. All right. Well, let's take a little break here. What do you think?
All right, sounds good to me.
All right. You got something in mind?
How about Sweet Lady Luck by Whitesnake?
Okay. Well, I talked to Reb yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
And I told him that the new White Snake, by the way, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid. That
Yeah.
Friends and whatever it's called.
Yeah, but he was saying that David Coverdale, he doesn't really anticipate doing anything for at least another year, as
Okay.
far as like performing or anything.
Right.
And I guess David Coverdale lives in Tahoe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess he's got a pretty big mansion, very mansionish type place up there.
Okay.
So I guess he's got that on the market,
Right.
and he's like, downscaling his
Okay.
whole lifestyle, not just because of the COVID, but just in general.
Sure.
So he's, he was kind of like giving some insight on, David Coverdale.
Okay.
Some of the things he was saying was actually pretty funny.
Yeah. Well,
About how he went from just being a street level British guy, rock and roller guy,
mm-hmm.
to upgrading his vocabulary and the way
Yeah.
that he spoke to being almost like the Queen.
He's like British royalty now.
Exactly. That's
Yep.
exactly what he was talking about. And it was just really funny. He and Don were swapping stories about David Coverdale because Don knows David as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was just cracking up just listening to those two go at it, talking about stuff. It's just like,
Funny.
holy shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Fucking funny.
Yeah.
So what was the song you wanted?
Sweet Lady Luck.
All right.
Slip of the tongue.
All right. All right, I got it.
Cool.
All right, well, we're going to play a couple tunes. We'll come back. We'll do some more stuff. So here it is. It's White Snake exclusively here
On your classic metal show.